So how I met the curators, actually this is an interesting story because we have met through Design MENA. I know Islam already from a long time, but Islam won the Young Architect Award in 2015 and Cristiano was one of the jury, and 2016 I won the Young Architect Award as well. So this is how we met through the Design MENA. And it was interesting to come back again in 2018 and do the pavilion together at Cristiano. We discussed several ideas and we found that Rubaiyat would be one of the most interesting ideas to present the Egyptian pavilion in the Biennale. Actually, we were inspired with the Curator's Manifesto, which is the free space for opportunity, free space of thinking, free space of imagination. And we wanted to take part from Egypt, which is actually the installation, and present it there. So it's like we draw a lens from Venice back to Egypt to highlight all these informal markets in Egypt. And that was Rubaiyat, where we choose the potential projects in Egypt. We have inside the pavilion a huge map, which is almost 20 meters, highlighting all these places in Cairo and in all other places in Egypt. More about the concept, actually, our main focus was more about the informality. We believe that it's something we should really explore it more and more. We should also learn from it, because what's happening that there is a culture and there is people living in these areas, and we cannot just come and move them or change totally the rules of this space. So we believe that any new regulation, anything that needs to be applied on that in these informal markets, we need to first see how these people are living, how these people are trading together, and this is what we did actually through our research and also through our contributors. Because we made an open call for contributors, and we really selected a lot of interesting topics, which is already presented in our book. We call it Rubaiyat, the Informal City, and it's presented there in the pavilion, and we have also the link online. And then we decided to go in one of the markets, which is Souk al-Juma. It's one of the potential projects that even myself would like to do a proposal for this place one day. We bought approximately 400 pieces, Rubaiyat piece from there. It's Rubaiyat, actually it's coming from, it's an Italian word which means, named Rubaiyat. And in Egypt we changed it to Rubaiyat because in Egypt they don't pronounce the V, so they call it Rubaiyat. And then it became Bikia. So we have the street vendors moving everywhere in the Egypt streets. They call Bikia, and then they get this stuff and then they sell it back. So we believe that there is a history behind each object. And the way we put the installation and place this curve, which we have there in the pavilion, I think it's telling a lot of stories. For us, even the 3 days or 4 days we spent in the market there selecting this object, it means a lot for us. We have a lot of connections with the street vendors, even with the sellers there. What we wanted to do actually is to highlight these places in Egypt, and we found that the Biennale is the best place or the best stage where we can really highlight this issue. One of the issues, it's Souk al-Juma, which is the project that we highlighted. It's in between cemetery in Egypt, so people live there. So we believe that there is no more free space in Egypt because they occupied all the space. That's I think the major issue that we are facing. That's why everywhere it's crowded, and moving them and taking them out of the city, we don't believe that this is the solution, because they will keep repeating this everywhere again. And then once the city is growing, they will keep moving. So we believe that there is a better solution. There is a way that better solution that we can really do more research about it. We have to include them. We have to talk to them. We need to know what's their needs. After this, we can start to do the architecture side. The pavilion, which is one of the interesting parts for all of us, I think. If you ask any one of the curators, Islam or Cristiano or myself, it was really interesting because it came now the real part. We have everything on the drawings. We spent a lot of time really preparing all the fabrication for the drawings. We have like almost 50 sheets of the drawings. And when we went there, we decided to work by our hand. We have our friends there from the contractor side who's helping them. The challenge that we found in the construction there, that we have to hang over 400 pieces on the ceiling. And as per our design or the selection that we brought from Egypt, it's somehow a parametric shape where we need to bring the bigger pieces in the middle, and then it goes So somehow there's kind of order in this installation. When you look at the installation and you look at the objects, it's exactly as we bought it from Egypt. Even we decided to keep it as it is. We didn't clean it because it's part of the market. But the way it was designed and the way it was placed in the pavilion, it's showing somehow order, which means that we can, with some little ideas and with maybe some tweaks, and we can really come up with good ideas. And that was, I remember after the opening day, I was just standing beside the door waiting for the people to come there and just capture the first reaction. And the first reaction was always like, wow. They look at the ceiling and say, wow.